Alright, my video starts here today. Today I bought this chicken drinker, basically for drinking water. I'm intending to have about 20 birds, 5 layers, 5 crawlers and 10 broilers. So what I've decided to do, literally, is to buy this Ken Poly product. It's kind of like, let me say like $5 this. And I also bought this, which is about $6 to $7, the feeder. So this feeder, once it is full and you have about 20 birds, they can, if they are big, they can, they can actually take up to 2 to 3 days, according to what they have told me. That's if the birds do not overeat. But if they eat, I think they would be enough. So that means I'll be changing it almost after, I would say like after 20 hours. Yeah, 15 to 20 hours. So I go to work. By the time I get back, yeah, this chicken would still be having something to feed on. So this is the drinker, and this is basically the feeder. So I'm going to show you the farm. It's not actually the chicken houses that I prepared the other side, but this is where my video starts from, and we will continue with these episodes as we get down there. But I trust that everything is well with this chicken feeder, because I'm actually going to make this chicken eat this entire super rice, and I'm also going to buy feeds. This is about 25 kgs. I bought it, but I think I'm not a fan of rice, so I'll just be feeding the chicken using this rice. Yeah, that's the first feed I'm going to use, and with this chicken feeder that I bought. So let me walk you down the project. It's kind of like hybrid, because I'm doing the plants and also the chicken, because I'm intending to get the manure from the chicken, and also the chicken droppings will also be used for feeds for my fish project that I'm going to do, because I really need nitrogen from fish, from that water, so that I can proceed with my hydroponics and aquaponics. Yeah, so basically that's my intention. Okay, so I'm in the house. I'll show you my better photo when the other side. Let me just cut this out. Alright, so I'm now taking you to the home gardening. It rained a bit, so that's the reason why I put these slabs to help me, because that is the garden, and if you could see from far, that's going to be the chicken house, and the one for the rabbits and the turkey. So I put this because if you put on your white shoes like this, you don't want to step on mud. And now the other thing, you don't want to step on mud, so the other thing should be putting a slab like this where you can walk. Now I'm putting on white, and I can easily move over this pavers easily, without my shoes being dirty or having to wash the shoes, since most of the time I'm busy. Alright, so now we at the farm. Actually it's just a home gardening, but it's a living garden. I prefer calling it a living garden because the plants are actually alive and everything here is alive. So this is the bucket which I will be using for aquaponics. I will try to show you all the processes as I set it up. You know, some of these things are creative and innovative ways of doing things. So this is the chicken house that I made that can keep around 20 birds. Okay, so before we get there, these are small square blocks I made where you can step on it, but they are kind of close, so I will try. I know this was the one I was using for the nursery bed, as you can see. So I'll try it now. Okay, actually the cabbages are growing very well. These are the feeds that I'm going to use for my rabbits. But this is the entire poultry house. That's going to be the door. I need the carpenter to come and fix it. I think the birds are coming in quite soon. And this is my tomatoes, which have started actually flowering. I've learned a few things, that with tomato stems are weak, so you have to support them with these trees and you tie them. So I'll do the tying, not today, but I just want to show you how much we have achieved. So these are the drinkers and the feeders that I bought, that I want to show it to you. Let me now put the video in the stand. I bought this stand here to help me especially recording, because most of the time I record the videos when I'm alone. Okay, so this is what we have so far achieved. I just want to show you the walkway and how you can get to the farm. So, and you can move with white shoes. You don't have any issues with the farm or the home gardening. So this is me basically trying to show you this small home gardening technique, that you can put these walkways and you can use your white shoes, walk freely with no problem at all. And that's one of the beauty of having this home gardening innovations around. So I'm going to show you up close how we will be putting the other. So today probably you've seen it from a far distance. We're taking the aerial view of this, so we're not going to try to put it there, but let me first give you some intros around here on what we are doing at the farm. So basically what we're doing now, we have brought basically what we have done, we have decided to bring this thing closer, and this is where our home gardening starts. We'll try to make sure that all what we have is to help us succeed in this small living garden. The chickens will be alive, the rabbits will be alive, and also apart from the chicken will be alive, the rabbits will be alive. I don't know, maybe I put that things kind of low. Yeah, try to find a way of sitting here. Okay. All right, so I believe that with these farming techniques, we should be able to get more yields, and even the youths can be really interested in this kind of farming. Youths hate dirty work, and if you make this farm environment very clean, even the youths will love it. They can come with their white shoes, yeah, slay around. But that's the good thing. But it's not all about slaying. It's all about finding innovative ways to make sure that you really have these amazing plants grow. The rabbits, and even this other space will have some bit of turkeys that can roam around, free range poultries that can actually move here and do the feeding. We'll add more houses, probably one there, or one or two for the birds, depending if we have the space. The space is there. Yeah, if you can try to expand it, and I believe you will love it. So as I'm going to take you around this small, it's not a big garden, but it's a small one. Now all I have to tell you is that we've tried our best to make sure that everything that we do on the farm, it rained today, everything we do in this farm is not very expensive. It's a little bit economical and affordable, because These sticks here are not very expensive. You can get them probably 5,000 and they give you all the tomatoes. The only thing which is expensive is really the seeds. And also one thing I noticed is that I would have to buy the chicken and put it here, and also make sure that the feeding takes place very well. So that's what my focus is going to be on. So I believe these devices work well. So let me know in the comment section, what other things do you think we can still utilize in this space? This space looks a little bit big. We have the tomatoes, all kinds of, I would say, all kinds of plants are here so far. We've even extended it their way. And we have about 25 sacks with our vertical farming. We also have the poles. These poles here are basically vertical farming using these buckets. This one will be having the aquaponics. We will also have the aeroponics, which is kind of using the misting the roots of the plant so that the plants can grow without no soil solution. So hydroponics, basically you grow water with no soil solutions. It's very friendly for climate change. And of course, according to UN, the definition of climate change is that prolonged period of dryness without rain is what is referred to as climate change, which generally affects the planting season. With our approach, you can actually harvest 4 times in a year, because if the planting season, we don't depend on the planting season. So literally you can plant any time, any crop. And our turnaround time for harvesting begins as low as 65 days. Those are 2 months and 5 days. And also goes up to 150 days. Those are about 4 months, depending on the kind of crops we are planting. But here, we're basically planting the tomatoes, spinach, greens, and the seed crops, because we really need the protein. Since we do not want to heavily rely on meat for protein. So as I move around here, I show you this project in terms of cost. You guys might think it is very expensive, but it's not an expensive project. The poles probably would have costed everything. I would call it like plus the labor, that's around 400. The seeds, actually you might be surprised that I injected over $1 million in this project, but the fact that it's something that you can't see it, because even when you look at the pavers that we put here, yeah, these pavers are actually pavers, the walkways. So yeah, it reaches $1 million, and there's no doubt about it. If you try to buy the things in the Ugandan way, I'm not doing them most of the things myself. I'm also trying to hire people to help me, and we succeed. So the beans are actually giving out the pots. So this is one good thing that I've seen with this farm. So the overall cost, you can make it even much cheaper, maybe like 500 or 800. You can do it. Me, I have no problem. Prices differs. My cost differs from your cost and the kind of labor you use. And for me, I wanted something to be cheaper, but the seeds, not that we planted all the seeds. We bought the seeds, we planted very few just to try. We are experimenting, but we are quite hopeful that we'll get better yields, because our whole goal is to reduce on hunger. In this era, no one should go to bed with an empty stomach. So if you can do this kind of farming, this would be a very good approach to it. So as I'm taking you around, let me try to show you today the plants up close. We have also decided to, you see, even those China bags are being used. So this other probably could be the curry, but this is a spinach. And also, these are the chicken houses that we have. And these are the tomatoes. We're also going to take photos of the leaves, because we need to do some bit of image processing using machine learning. Okay, basically pattern recognition. I do not like calling it machine learning all the time because I think that's the broader term that captures what we are trying to do. But to be specific, we are going to do a little bit of pattern recognition. And since we are going to deal with pattern recognition, our interest is going to be so for those of you who don't understand what I'm trying to say is that when you try to look at these crops here physically, the plant physiological features, sometimes you see these plants probably have not been doing very well. We are not using fertilizers. We try to make sure that we use organic solutions. That's why you see we're trying to put even something that we know could be of help to the nutrients so that we could get the NPK, the nitrogen, potassium, and calcium. So what I was trying to tell you is that the concept of machine learning, where we make predictions, it's all about looking at what problem we are dealing with. So for the diseases, we are going to deal with the classification, and we're going to deal with pattern recognition. So we're going to be building those H.H5 modules, which will build them using Python. The whole idea is to make sure that our model gives us the best accuracy, so that we know that these plants are actually sick. You know, we're trying to use deep learning to train the modules. There's a lot of noise in the background. I don't know why. There's some road that side. You may forgive us. We could just be pausing and stopping. So what I was trying to say is that with machine learning, okay, with machine learning we can make predictions and see whether these crops, we can actually predict whether these crops can be harvested within the 65 days, which is the minimum, and the maximum is about 150. So if we can grow these crops, do this experiment for like 1 year, we're going to have about 4 data sets for different seasons or quarter. But my idea is to make sure that within 90 to 120, because if you go 150, our planting season will be a little bit, because 150 literally we are going for 5 months, and I'm not intending to go beyond 90 days, because I want to have like harvest these crops like 4 times in a year. And that's why I really want to, based on the concepts of machine learning, we do some bit of pattern recognition, especially the plants. We try to look at the leaves, especially for diseases, pests, basically a pest. So we're trying to grow this crop in a controlled environment. We are putting the chicken behind, hoping that we will get the droppings, which will be used as manure for these crops. We will put the droppings here, and we expect these crops to really do very well, get high yields. And if you have high yields, this would reduce on the issues of food security, which is being threatened by the poor yields from the crops and so on. So most of the things I'm telling you is because I'm trying to experiment this. I'm not from the agricultural background, but I love to do smart farming or urban farming. My solutions are basically for agriculture intelligence for urban solutions. So I'm not going to focus so much for the rural people for now, until I succeed in the urban farming. That's when I will focus on the rural people. In Uganda, we call them omuntu wa wansi, someone, even the people, the grassroots people. But for now, let me focus on urban farming, because I think urban farming addresses issues of climate change in a more sustainable way, because we're looking at all the sustainable solutions that are out, that everyone can maximize, because even land is becoming really expensive, and it's not because land does not increase in size, but the population is increasing. So we need to maximize the good use of the small space we have in our backyard so that we get better yields with our crops. I trust that once we succeed with our urban farming solutions, I'm also very confident that we can also be able to succeed with the rural solutions. I'll also try to show you the when you're doing the harvesting, because here we have even carrots, we have onions, and we have about 20 varieties being planted in these bags and also in those buckets. So it's not kind of like an expensive solution, but since we have put the idea here, we can try it as much as possible to make the cost go lower. We don't want it to be very expensive, but for me, why I'm doing this is that it's my first time. You experiment, you do a lot of mistakes. So now that we are trying to come up with this solution and we're building mobile applications, we do not want this farm here to be operated manually. My intention is to make sure that I build the mobile application that can self-irrigate these plants without me coming. This garden has a soil sensor moisture within those sacks that actually give us the moisture level, and it does the automatic irrigations. I've not shown you the irrigation system, how it's working, because I have a fear that some people might take some of the gardeners and the equipment. But this garden is connected with Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi is upstairs, which provide me. We're not doing yet real-time data processing. We're trying to collect the data of the soil moisture between 9 to 10, because we believe that at night it's always the humidity is kind of good because the sunshine is down, so we do not expect those challenges. But I hope you will love this kind of farming, and if you really love what we do, please like this video, comment, share, and let's reach 100k subscribers. I will try my best to make sure that I post this content. Now that I have a better microphone, my voice should be audible. I'll get rid of the background noises, and I hope our solutions will inspire you and inspire your kids, your siblings, so that you grow your crop. Thank you for watching this episode.